Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Arya back again. In this video, we're gonna talk about the perk modifiers in Black Ops 4 Zombies and rank them from worst to best. For those of you who don't know what those are, basically now in Zombies, you can choose 4 out of the 14 available perks, and the one in the last perk slot will have some additional abilities that kind of elevate the perk itself and make it better. And in order to activate it, you have to buy all 4 perks in-game. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna have to give you a disclaimer. This video is not the ranking of the perks themselves. I'm ranking the modifiers based on how much they elevate the perk and how advantageous it would be to put that one perk in your last perk slot. The perks themselves play a very minimal role in the way this list was structured. Also, the secret sauce perk is not going to be in this video, obviously because it's not an actual perk. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Coming in at number 13, we have Victorious Tortoise. The description reads, shield bash attacks can knock down heavy and mini boss enemies. And it does do that, but the shield itself takes a significant amount of damage when you do that, and I feel like this just isn't enough to make me want to use this perk modifier. It's just weak, and it's kind of lackluster, and I personally think that the shield itself needs to be buffed in terms of durability. Also, if you're playing Classified, there are no heavy bosses in that map, so this modifier is just obsolete in Classified. I love this perk, but the modifier is very weak, and that's why it's the lowest on this list. Coming in at number 12, we have Death Perception. The description says, deal increased damage to special enemy weak points. It doesn't tell you how much extra damage it does to the boss zombies, and I tested it, and it's actually not a lot. It sounds like it could be a very good perk modifier, but sadly, it's just not good enough, and I feel like it needs to give you a lot more damage boost, but until it gets buffed, I wouldn't recommend it. Coming in at number 11, we have Stronghold. The description reads, enemies killed inside the defensive circle also boost damage and armor. This perk itself is not a very good perk, and the modifier does elevate it, but it's still not enough. It gives you more armor and it boosts your damage when you're in the circle, but the thing is, the damage boost is not that much, and the armor boost is not that much either, and as soon as you start moving, you'll basically lose the armor and the damage boost, so unless you're planning on perfectly standing still the whole game, I wouldn't go with this one. Coming in at number 10, we have Bandolier Bandit. The description says, refill ammo of stowed weapons from ammo stock over time. I guess this is kind of Treyarch's way of replacing Speed Cola, and this is a cool perk modifier. Basically, if you don't reload a weapon and switch to the other weapon, the ammo for the weapon that you're not holding gets refilled. But the problem is, the rate at which your ammo gets refilled needs to be a lot faster. It's not too bad, and you will get a little sound cue whenever it's fully refilled, but it's just not very practical. You can just reload, and you can have the fast mags attachment on some of your weapons too, which makes it a lot faster to reload, so unless your strategy is to camp with 2 LMGs, I wouldn't recommend this one. Coming in at number 9, we have PhD Slider. The description reads, improved slide distance, trap immunity while sliding, increased explosion damage when entering a slide from greater heights. I really like this perk, but the modifier could use a little buff. The trap immunity one is not reliable because the sliding mechanic is kind of finicky and it's a little too risky to just slide through a trap. The increased explosion damage when entering a slide from greater heights again is not very useful nor practical, and explosion damage overall needs to be a lot stronger. But the improved slide distance is actually pretty good, because not only can you slide longer, you can charge your explosion a lot faster too because of that longer slide. So that is pretty cool, but other than that, it's just all kind of okay. Coming in at number 8, we have Electric Burst. The description says, reloading stores an electric charge on the player's melee weapon. The next melee attack empowers the weapon to shock enemies for a limited time. The more empty the magazine, the longer the time. This one is actually really good, but I do have a small problem with it. The description is a little misleading. When you melee the zombies, the one zombie that you hit is going to be electrocuted, but it doesn't have a chaining effect. It affects that one zombie and that's it. But it's still pretty strong, and it can come in clutch sometimes, especially if you're camping. Coming in at number 7, we have Mule Kick. The description says, switch weapons faster, the additional weapon will be saved and restored on next Mule Kick perk purchase. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't like this perk at all. But without the perk modifier, this perk is so much worse. So if you're ever gonna have Mule Kick as one of your perks, then you need to have the modifier as well, otherwise, when you go down, you're gonna lose your third weapon forever. Coming in at number 6, we have Quick Revive. The description reads, gain a movement speed boost after health regeneration starts. Reviving grants both players full health and a movement speed boost. This one is useful because even though the speed boost doesn't last very long, you're quite fast when your health is regenerating, and it helps you make a quick escape when you're in a bad situation. The one problem with it is that you have to wait for the health regeneration to start to get that speed boost. It's not like as soon as you take damage you can just start running really fast. It doesn't really work like that. You still have to wait, and that's pretty much the only thing that's bad about it, but other than that, it's very useful. Coming in at number 5, we have Dying Wish. The description says, player will receive full health when no longer berserk. This is a really good perk modifier. I can speak from personal experience when I say that there have been times when I would get trapped and Dying Wish would save me, and as soon as it would stop, a dog would hit me or something and I would just die. Since there are some enemies in this game that can be pretty fast and you might need full health when you stop going berserk, I would say this one is a great perk modifier. Coming in at number 4, we have Winter's Wail. The description says, Frost Explosion triggers a slowing field around the player for a limited time. Store an additional charge. If you're a fan of this perk and you use it a lot, you know that it can take some time for it to recharge, and it can be a little annoying because you get 2 charges at a time, but with the modifier, you get an extra charge which could literally be the difference between life and death. And in addition to that, you also get a slowing field around you for a limited time, and the radius is not too bad. This perk modifier is really good. I'm not saying the perk itself is really good, but the modifier makes it so much better. Coming in at number 3, we have Deadshot Dealer. The description reads, gain a damage boost when on a headshot streak. This one might be a little unpopular, but the reason why I put it in the number 3 spot when it could be so much lower on the list is because there is no double tap in this game. The guns are kind of weak. Headshots matter a lot. They give you more points, they give you more XP, and they kill the zombies a lot faster. And you're more likely to get on a headshot streak, and if you have this modifier, then you basically don't have to really do much. You could even forget that you had this modifier on, and it basically doesn't require you to do anything that specific to take full advantage of it. You're gonna be headshotting the zombies anyway, and the good thing about this one is the damage boost can last a while, and it doesn't take that many headshots to get it back, so I feel like it's just kind of underrated. Coming in at number 2, we have Stamin-Up. The description reads, unlimited full sprint, player can fire weapons while sprinting. This perk modifier makes Stamin-Up so much better. You will have unlimited full sprint, and in a game where the zombies are really fast and basically Varrock sprinters can start spawning in at some point, and you also have dogs and tigers and Brutus and gladiators and all those enemies can run, you need unlimited full sprint. You might not need it sometimes, but most of the time you will need unlimited full sprint, and that's why this one comes in at number 2. Coming in at number 1, we have Timeslip. The description says, special weapon charge rate and elixir cooldown rate are slightly increased. In Black Ops 4 Zombies, the game heavily revolves around cooldowns. Everything has a cooldown. Your specialist has a cooldown, your equipment has a cooldown, your elixirs have cooldowns, the traps and the fast travels have cooldowns as well. The modifier on this perk reduces the cooldown rate for the specialist by 13%, and it reduces the cooldown rate on the elixir by 15%. And that might not seem like a lot, but the special weapons in this game are really powerful, and the elixirs are helpful as well. And if there's anything you can do to make it so that you can use your specialist or your elixirs more, then you should absolutely do that. This modifier will help you in every map and is useful in every scenario, and that's why it comes in at number 1. That is gonna do it for today's video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comment section down below. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.